It all started on a rainy evening in San Francisco. Jake, a 28-year-old software engineer struggling to pay off his student loans, was scrolling through a late-night forum when he stumbled upon a thread titled, "Elon Musk's Secret Finance Trick That Could Make You Rich." At first, he thought it was another clickbait scam, but something about the post caught his eye. The forum members weren't your typical stock traders, they were engineers, tech enthusiasts, and self-made entrepreneurs sharing real-life experiences. The thread described an unusual approach Elon reportedly used in his early investment days. Unlike traditional strategies, it wasn't about risky stock picking or crypto hype, it was a method of leveraging small, consistent opportunities with precise timing. Jake's curiosity turned into obsession. He read every comment, screenshot every detail, and stayed awake until 3 a.m., trying to understand the mechanics. By the time the sun rose, Jake realized that if he followed the strategy carefully, it could potentially multiply his savings without taking on massive risk. But there was a catch. It required discipline, secrecy, and patience, qualities that most people, including Jake himself, weren't used to exercising. Something inside him clicked. This could be his chance to finally break free from financial stress. He made a promise to himself. He would try it, and he would see it through. Jake spent the next few days meticulously studying the trick. He realized it wasn't some magical get-rich-quick scheme, it required understanding small financial loopholes that Elon supposedly exploited in his early ventures. He started with tiny amounts he could afford to lose, just to test the waters. Using a combination of micro-investments, timing, and reinvestment strategies, Jake carefully followed the method described in the forum. Every move felt like a high-stakes game, but also strangely logical, like a puzzle he was meant to solve. The first week was tense. Jake double-checked every transaction, triple-checked every number. His heart raced each time he clicked, confirm. To his astonishment, the method worked, but slowly. His small $200 test investment turned into $240 within a few days. It wasn't a fortune yet, but it was proof that the strategy could work. The success ignited something in him. He felt a mix of excitement and fear, excitement for the possibilities, fear of making a single mistake that could ruin everything. He realized this trick wasn't just about money, it was about discipline, patience, and thinking differently. Jake made a decision. He would commit to the strategy fully, scaling it gradually, while keeping it secret from everyone, even his closest friends. After a month of careful investing, Jake's initial test fund had grown steadily, but now he wanted to scale it. Using the forum's guidelines, he started increasing his investment amounts, cautiously, still testing each step. Then came the first real test. One evening, Jake noticed a sudden drop in one of his positions. Panic surged through him. Every warning he had read about overconfidence and impatience flashed in his mind. For a moment, he considered pulling out everything, just to stop the bleeding. But then he remembered a key principle the forum emphasized. This trick was about patience and timing, not impulsive reactions. He resisted the urge to panic. Instead, he analyzed the situation, rechecked the data, and realized the drop was temporary, a minor fluctuation within the method's expected pattern. Holding his nerve was difficult. He lost sleep, double-checked every transaction, and even questioned if he was truly ready for this. But by the next morning, the market corrected itself, and his investments had not only recovered, they had grown. That day, Jake learned his first crucial lesson. This trick rewarded discipline and courage more than luck. Every decision now carried weight, and he understood that even Elon himself probably faced similar moments of doubt in his early days. Part 4 can be the turning point where Jake starts seeing real profits and a taste of financial freedom, but also faces unexpected consequences. By the third month, Jake's small experiment had begun to transform into something far bigger than he had imagined. His disciplined approach and careful timing were paying off. What started as a $200 test investment had now grown into over $5,000. For Jake, this was a surreal moment. He could feel a future where financial stress didn't dominate his life. But with success came temptation. Jake started receiving messages from strangers claiming to know faster ways to multiply his gains. Some promised huge returns overnight, others hinted at secret hacks, even Elon doesn't want you to know. The allure of shortcuts was strong, but Jake remembered the warnings in the forum: stray from the method and risk everything. He took a deep breath, blocked the distractions, and doubled down on his disciplined strategy. Slowly but surely, the trick started generating consistent, compounding returns. He realized this was the real secret: patience and consistency, not luck or insider secrets. For the first time in years, Jake felt a sense of control. Bills no longer terrified him, debt seemed conquerable, and he even began dreaming about future investments he had never dared consider. But deep down, he knew the real test was still ahead. Could he sustain this growth and resist the lure of shortcuts that threatened everything he had built? Part 5 will be the climactic finale, showing Jake's ultimate success, the full payoff of the trick, and a dramatic twist that makes the story feel completely real. 6 months after Jake first discovered the forum, his disciplined approach had transformed his financial life. What began as a $200 test investment had now grown into over $50,000, all without taking reckless risks. He could finally see the future he had dreamed about: debt-free, financially independent, and confident in his own abilities. But the real lesson wasn't just the money. Jake realized that the secret finance trick wasn't a hack or shortcut, it was a mindset. Elon Musk's so-called secret wasn't about insider information. It was about thinking differently, taking small calculated risks, and being relentless with consistency. Jake had learned to trust the process, resist impulsive decisions, and let patience compound into wealth. To celebrate, Jake allowed himself one small indulgence: a dinner overlooking the city skyline. As he reflected on the journey, he smiled, realizing that this wasn't just about money, it was about growth, discipline, and self-belief. He had unlocked a secret that anyone could follow if they were willing to work smarter, not just harder. And while he never shared the exact forum details publicly, he became an inspiration for friends and family, showing them that even a small, disciplined start could lead to life-changing results. Jake's journey was proof. Sometimes, the real secret isn't the trick itself, it's how you stick to it when everyone else gives up.